everybody, it's Jen Louden here with Susan, Piver, and Patti Digh. We're talking about writing and fear because we're leading a writing retreat in September outside Boston. Hey, say hi, girls. Patti?
Hi. It's good to be here.
Susan?
Hi. Great to be here, too.
So we asked a bunch of people on Facebook and Twitter, what are your writing questions? And when we looked at this plethora of amazing questions, many of which we will address in Boston, what we looked at was an overarching theme of fear. Fear of self-expression, fear of going into the uncertainty, fear of what other people will think. So Susan, you've written an entire book about fear. Can you give us a little wonderful, yelly thing to do to help us with our fear of writing today?
Sure, I could try. I mean, there is no way around it. I've never met a writer in my life who isn't afraid. I've never met a writer who doesn't have to chop through a bunch of resistance and difficulty and procrastination in order to get to the page. I stopped trying to figure out why that is, including me, of course. So all I can think of now is to sort of call my fear my companion, my friend that sort of arises when I know I'm about to start to do something meaningful. And instead of looking at it as a problem or an enemy or allowing it to get between me and the page, I instead just try to welcome it as a sort of, herald figure that I'm about to start doing something that's meaningful to me. And so thank you very much. And, in a Buddhist view, which is what my fear book tends to be about, fear is not thought of as a problem to be gotten rid of, but as a form of wakefulness. Mm-hmm. And when you tune into what it feels like to be afraid, you see that it is, and actually it's uncomfortable, doesn't feel good, but it is a state of wakefulness, alertness. You're very sensitized. And so these qualities can really come in handy in writing. And another excuse to sort of welcome your fear as a friend as opposed to a foe. So that would be my take on it. I don't know, Patti, do you have any thoughts on that subject?
I would have said exactly that in exactly those words. I think the other thing is that we, fear is an act of deflection in a way. I think there are a lot of ways that we deflect ourselves from doing the work. So to spend energy speaking about our fear takes away the time that we actually could be writing. And I find this a lot with myself. I talk a lot about all I have to do as opposed to sitting down and doing it. And what I loved about the last retreat that we did was very much this realization as we went through the day that writing is a practice like any other practice. So, you both know from your practice of yoga and meditation, this is something that is a daily commitment that you make. There's a great quote, and I can never remember who said it, but it was, a writer waiting for inspiration and realizing that inspiration came every morning at 9 a.m. Mm-hmm. And that idea of discipline and really being attuned to or wakeful to use Susan's term, what it is that I deflect. There's something that I talk about a lot in the work that I'm doing, and that is that the thing that keeps you from your work has become your work. So if fear keeps you from your work, then fear has become your work. You're not writing, you're fearful. And I love this idea of it being a companion. I mean, I think that we all, from my experience of our work together the last time we met and did this retreat, there was really a sense of knowing among the three approaches, because I think we have three very different approaches, that the thing that we believe keeps us from that work or stops us is the companion. That is the thing that actually drives. Somebody wrote on Facebook recently that they hoped that Adele, the singer, would get the man the next time. And I wrote back and said, I don't know what that does to her art to some degree, because I think that the walk with fear, as Susan said, that beautiful image of it as a companion is the driver of some of the work that we need to do. How about you, Jen?
Well, I'm going to end it there because I don't think we need it anymore, because I like to think of appropriate dosing when we teach, and that is a full meal right there. And if you want more, then you need to come to Boston. The information to register is below, and we will answer lots more questions, and we will have time to actually write, which is a huge fear breaker for people last time. We wrote together for about 40 minutes in the room. For some people, that was the longest time they've written in a long time or ever. So please come join us and get more of the yummy wisdom from these women. Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.